Hey, what's up, everybody? Here to bring you another review. This time is of the SH Figuarts Obi-Wan from, I guess, episode 4? Yeah, episode 4, I would say. Yeah, so, yeah. Let's get started. Like I said, I am a casual Star Wars fan, but I've been doing stuff because, I like the Star Wars stuff. It's been pretty simple and to the point, and I like it. So I pre-ordered a bunch of stuff, and here we are with old Obi-Wan. Don't know how I really got myself here, but I'm here. Let me remove his lightsaber. Let's get started on the figure. First thing I want to talk about is the head sculpt. Does it look like Old Man Ben? Yeah, but it also looks a little bit of Star Wars animated, I should say. Definitely has an animated feel. Maybe his head is a little more elongated than I remember. I haven't watched the movie in a while, but I think that it definitely has the look and the feel of old Obi-Wan, and I like that a lot. I like that it is. It's one of those things where I know the likeness is there and I enjoy it. The hood is soft fabric. Got a little ahead of myself. The hood is soft fabric because it's removable for you to put the actual extra cape on. I'll get around to that in a second. Um, and the way you lash it in is a little annoying, but you kind of lash it in from the inside going out, as if you were mocking it in, to make sure it stays locked in. Now, as far as arm articulation and the way this robe is, you can actually rotate the arms all the way up. There is a bicep swivel. The arms are single jointed, not double. But it's very weird because it's almost like they wanted to include a folding arms accessory with the way that the arms are done, but almost decided just, hey, I'm not going to do it. And the robe is soft plastic. But if you can find a way to swap out the arms with his other versions, I'm pretty sure you can make, paint or match, because the insides are a little too light, but it's totally fine. But I'm pretty sure you can find an unrobed Obi-Wan if you use the episode 1 to do it. I think so. I'm going to try it later on. But the arm articulation isn't bad. Is what we've totally gotten so far. Pretty much with all the Jedi ones, whether it's Mace or Obi-Wan or even Anakin. So, yeah. Now, the part that does suck the most is old Ben doesn't do much because of his articulation and the way he was in the movie. It kind of matches that. Even the robe down here is soft plastic, but towards the back, it becomes harder plastic towards the middle of it. So it's not like you can warp it without damaging the figure or removing something. So that's a real downside and a bummer for me. Hopefully I can find a way to take this off. Now the waist articulation just swivels left and right, not back and front. So it's a little bit of a pain. So you actually lose out on a ton of the midsection articulation, and the robe actually hinders the rest of it. Let me remove this, put this to the side. Now, this is really soft plastic, and it still has fully posable legs under, which is pretty cool. And they use the drop down method, as you can see here. The legs can actually fold all the way up and push all the way back. And there is tons. Oh, actually, there was tons, and now I've lost a foot. But let's get back into that in a second. So just like with the other ones, you actually get a ankle pivot. So I'm gonna put this back in. You actually get a ankle pivot and a toe pivot, but because you can't really move over the old Obi-Wan's upper torso, it kind of hinders his articulation. So even here, as you try to do some poses with old Obi-Wan, you're pretty much just gonna get the most basic ones out of him. Even if I put the hood back on, the problem is because his arm is spreading out, it'll leave some gaps in the robe, which sucks because I really like this and I like the head sculpt. So maybe with some modding, I can make it work. But as you can see here, it's leaving gaps here. I'm not really feeling that, but pretty sure I could work something out of it, right? All in all, Obi-Wan is something for you to have if you pretty much just enjoy the older movies and you wanted a old Ben by SHF. You know what I mean? But if you were looking for something, it's not going to happen. Definitely, this is one that's going to need a CJ treatment and maybe some strengthening behind the upper torso, maybe some modding. All in all, it could have been a better figure. It's just a decent figure at most, and mostly just a filler stand-in. So if you have the Black Series, I guess you'll be okay. But I don't think that does much either, because I've seen the Black Series one, and I have it. I don't look like he does much either, you know? There's a lot of differences in the paint apps too, but I definitely think this one takes the cake. Now, old Ben does come with stuff that does make him awesome, but at the same time, it's like, how do you juggle this? Because he comes with a really cool lightsaber, and it comes with a piece to remove it, so obviously you can put his hands in there. You obviously saw this at the beginning. This is the lightsaber when it's not activated. You get an eyes closed head, I guess when you want to look and shame at yourself, you know, or, you know, reflect upon the time of things. You also get a hand for holding lightsabers. They are symmetrical, so you get left and right hands. You get 2 normal hands for just relax. And you get 1 force hand, which is the right hand for Obi-Wan. All in all, like I said, I really like it a lot, but it kind of falters. The one accessory you do get to match Obi-Wan that I think was really, really cool, and I'm having trouble taking this off all of a sudden, is that you get the hood if you want to make Obi-Wan the hooded version. Like I said, popping this back in sometimes is a pain. So if you want to be running on a run, telling people these are not the droids you're looking for, let's fix that. Telling people these are not the droids you're looking for, you can obviously do the hooded one. This is much like the old Luke Skywalker one, so it works out just fine, considering the Luke one. And last but not least, accessory-wise, you do get the cloak of when he pretty much drops and turns into a Force ghost, or I guess he dissipates. I don't want to call it, well, I guess he disappears off into the Force, becomes one with the Force. But you actually get it, it lays flat pretty easily, and you can do it for thematical shots. It's pretty cool. It's really soft and malleable. Just has the wrinkles. Just look good. It's a nice accessory to have for the figure. It is. Now, height-wise, let's compare Obi-Wan to a bunch of other figures. Figure out where he stands, literally. This is Obi-Wan with an SH Figuarts Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper's a little taller. Just to be sure, we're going to double check it next to the Rogue One Stormtrooper. First and secondary type. So he's around the same size. Next up, here he is next to Vader. And this one is a big deal because him and Vader actually meet they meet in the movie. And Vader is significantly taller than him. And I think that's the way it should be. I don't know why my Vader's not standing for some reason. But he is significantly taller, and I think that's the way it should be. Next up, we're going to compare him to Han Solo from SHF. Han's a little taller. I like that. Last but not least, Chewie. So if you want to have the crew together, it's pretty easy to do so. I think Chewie is a great height, standing over both of them. Now, if you want to compare it to other lines, though, here we go. Here's Old Man Ben next to Kamen Rider Kuga. Here he is next to a Marvel Legends Iron Fist. So size-wise, he doesn't scale too well with domestics. He's a little bit taller, but not enough. Here he is next to a Mezco Captain America. Who stands over gigantically with him. Last but not least, a 1000 Toys Carb. So if you want to fight robots, you're in there like swimwear. Do I think it's a nice piece? Yes. But also it has its faults, and it definitely has some issues. If you wanted a stationary piece, this is definitely for you. It looks great. It does function pretty well. But Ben didn't do much, so I can't really complain about it. You know what I mean? He can still take on fighting poses, which you'll see in the videos at the end. It's just that some things are pretty much hindered or won't look too good. In the meantime, I hope you guys found this informative, and I hope you enjoyed. In the meantime, do good, be good, drink your water. Later, guys. So real quick, while I was working on photos, I decided to try out the cloth from the Black Series one. And it works out just fine. All you have to do is take off the jacket, pop the arms in through the sleeves, and you should be fine. So if you're in for a neat trick for that and you want to increase articulation while making it look a little decent, there you go, right there. Thanks for watching, guys.